Welcome to this week's episode of Car Stars and Roll Bars. I'm Mike Kinney, your host. Each week we look under the hood for all the cool things that have something to do with cars, whether we're attending SEMA or NHRA events or NASCAR, finding great collectors, different cruising activities going on, and a lot of manufacturers. There's a nice segue. Well, today, man, this is a hoot. Good old running buddy of mine for many years. We have Rick Lubb with us. He's Vintage Air. He's the president, and I love their tagline, world's fastest air conditioning company. They got started in about 1976, and they go out of their way to make sure they incorporate the latest technology available to offer you the greatest efficiency and reliability available, or as I like to say, known to mankind. Their whole goal is to keep your vehicle cool, and they do a great job of it. Rick, man, welcome aboard, man. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for the invitation, Mike. I'm excited about being a part of your show and having a lot of fun today.
Absolutely. So, got to catch up with the viewers. We always see each other at SEMA, and every time I come by your booth, because we have a little video later about this as well, you guys kind of keep reinventing how to be cool in a car.
Well, we like to think so. We work awful hard at it. We're a bunch of hot rodders here ourselves, and continually trying to upgrade our product, stay abreast of the latest technological upgrades that are possible, and always, again, trying to deliver the best products we can for ourselves and for our customers.
Absolutely. And I got one video we're going to throw in for the viewers to give you an idea how cool these guys are. They have their own TV channel. Check out this intro. So I've had people see it and they go, oh, I see how these guys are the real deal. So we talk about a lot of the manufacturers are out there. We never name names, Rick. You know the drill. But nothing's intriguing with me and Vintage Air. You guys are real car guys. So this is more than just a job to you, right, buddy?
It is. It is. And I've been involved with Vintage Air for many years. I met our founder, Jack Chisenhall, who started Vintage Air, like you pointed out earlier, in 1976. And I met Jack in the early 80s. Wow. I had a little shop on the side. I had another full-time job, then did a lot of traveling overseas, a lot of international work. And in between that international work, I had some time on the side, and I had more time than I had money. So I found a good way to make some money was to wire cars and add air conditioning and install air conditioning to them. So I met Jack, we became friends, and I was a distributor for Vintage Air and an installer for Vintage Air. So that's kind of how I got involved with him, and through the 80s, and then started doing a few more things. We started doing some R&D projects together, and I had a 39 Ford at the time that I still have. That was kind of my daily driver at the time. So we did a lot of R&D projects on that car. Perfect. And trying new products and all of that since I was using it. And I got more and more involved with him. And eventually in 1998, I came to work for him full time and been here ever since.
Been there ever since. Great segue. We got some picks coming up, and I just referred to them as Rick's Rides. See if you might recognize some of these vehicles here, sir.
Yeah, my old 39. And I've had that car, 40 years now, I guess it is. So, yeah, that one's been around a while.
I like the background, by the way.
Yeah, that was at the Pima Air Museum that's fairly close. That's in Tucson on one of our road tours.
Wow, very cool. I think we got a couple more. And everybody's got to have a 5 windows at some point in their life, right?
Yep, my old 32 5-window. I've had that. I actually built in the early 90s. I was doing some work with Rodder's Digest magazine, right. And I built a little American Graffiti style 32, and I sold it when I got married and built a house. And I always wanted another little 5-window, so I started on this one back in the mid 90s, and it was like a 10-year project. So I think it's been on the road since about 2005. So I've had that one quite a while too.
Cool. And this is just kind of get a little bit closer to more serious muscle. That's a nice speed shot, by the way.
Yeah, I got a 72 Camaro. I've had that for quite a while. I guess we finished that in about 2007, 2008, right in that range. I had picked it up, and my good buddy Kyle Tucker from Detroit Speed helped us out with some stuff on that and everything. So that one spent a lot of time on the road as well. We've done several road tours to Colorado and Minnesota and everything else. So that car gets driven quite a bit too. So yeah, I've been really fortunate to be able to get a few really fun cars. And one of my character flaws is I tend to hold on to things.
So it kind of indicates to me you get a hold of them and you build them the way you want, and you kind of keep them versus flipping them.
Yeah, I tend to get attached to things that, like I said, that old 39,
Yeah.
that I did that in a little one-car garage in a house I was renting with help of friends, like hot rodders. We had friends that helped us with things and built that car originally. I bought it out of Detroit. I was the third owner of it, and finished it in 84, bought it out of Detroit, finished it in early 85, I guess it was. And it was the only car I owned for a while. I drove it every day and put a lot of miles on it. It had over 200,000 miles on it when I tore it down back in 2014. I was on the way back from the Roadster Show in California, the Father's Day Roadster Show, and the motor started going away on it. What started out in many cases, as a quick motor swap ended up being a complete redo of the car. But we built it to look exactly like it did the first time around.
Perfect. Good friend of mine's got a 55 Chevy 210, would have blown 350, nothing over the top. He's had it 30 some years now, and he tells me anytime he has a bad day at work, he goes in the garage and fires it up and takes it around the block, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's motorized.
I'll drive mine to work. I mean, I drive the 39 to work every now and then too, for that same reason. It is car's like an old friend. You get in there and it's just a regular old hot rod. It's nothing. It's nothing too sophisticated. Everything's pretty simple in it, and it's just a fun stress reliever, as you know.
Yeah. Well, our Superbird 2.0, the 426, I take it around the corner and you pull into second gear and just give her a little bit of throttle. A smile gets on your face, right, buddy?
Yep. Every one of my hot rods is a 3-pedal car like you. They're 5 speeds, and the Camaro's a 6-speed. But
nice.
You're with a hot rod like that, you're kind of driving it more than just steering, and that's part of the experience.
It's part of the experience. Okay, for the viewers, if you haven't been to SEMA, we have great SEMA coverage here. I want to thank everybody at SEMA folk, especially in their PR department, getting us credentialed up, and we get a chance to come by. And certain people, in the best possible way, are really good pitch persons. Can't say pitchmen anymore. So check out Rick doing his thing at the SEMA show, talking about a new product.
Hi, I'm Rick Love. I'd like to welcome you back to SEMA. We're excited to be back here live and seeing everybody again. I'd like to show you one of our newest products that we're debuting at the SEMA show. This is our Streamline heater. When you take a look at this heater, it calls to mind the classic styling of the 30s and 40s, the Streamline era. We have a molded plastic cover for it, polished stainless steel trim, single knob operation, controls both the blower and the heater control valve. Mounts directly to your firewall. The air exits the bottom of the heater. We have some deflectors to divide it from passenger side to driver's side, and 2 fittings to connect your hot water to. Very simple installation, great looking accessory, work in a hot rod or any classic vehicle. Great way to add some heat to your hot rod. More information on this, just check out our website, Vintage Air, or see us on social media.
I love the Art Deco feel of it, and you did a great job, boss. I'm not sucking up to you just because that came up, but I love the look of that. I'm instantly thought of Art Deco.
Yeah, I wish we could take credit for the entire design, but we basically mimicked the old South Wind heaters, that Stuart Warner made back in the time, or them. And the only difference is those South Wind heaters, the original ones, and you remember this, Mike. I mean, what seemed like a good idea at the time, they plugged into your gas line. You basically ran gas inside your car and had a spark plug that lit the gas off, and that provided your heat. I mean, I guess back in the 30s, early 40s, that seemed like a pretty good idea, but now I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I think it'd give most of us pause.
Yes.
One thing I like about what you guys do, because again, every company kind of has their approach to it. You really focus on getting out, spending time with your customers, meet and greets, and having a chance just to be around other cool cars. We got some picks coming up we just call events. And naturally, I believe that now is that Louisville?
It is. Yep, You're right. That's Louisville, Kentucky Street Rod Nationals. Yep.
And for the viewers, we talked about Louisville before, and there'd be about 11 to 12,000 hot rods. So you guys are kind of in hot rod heaven that week.
Yeah, that. I think even at this point, Louisville is still the largest single event that I'm aware of in the U.S. as far as, and now it's, 30-year cars and older. So it's not just pre-49.
Oh, good point.
Several years ago, quite a few years ago, I guess now, NSRA put that into a later model type event as well. And that's, you're going to get 9 to 10,000 cars at that. That's still one of the largest events there is.
We've been there and it is cool. And this kind of looks like you guys are doing a workshop.
Yeah, this is actually at Vintage Parts of Arizona in Phoenix. We do seminars every year. We try to do a few seminars, customer seminars, to just kind of educate people on the basics of performance aftermarket air conditioning. And we have a good time doing it, and they're good informational sessions, and try to get people thinking about the do's and don'ts when they're wanting to add air conditioning to their cars.
Yeah. There's a herd.
that is a group right there that is near and dear to my heart. One of the things that I'm really proud of at Vintage Air is we sponsor the 29 Below program with NSRA.
Oh, excellent.
And that's basically open to anybody, 29 years old or younger.
Yep.
And at each one of the NSRA events, they put together a parking area for younger people to get together. It's a non-competitive event, kind of like as you mentioned, a meet and greet.
Yeah.
It's a great way. This is at the Street Rod Nationals. That's always the largest event, but the greatest thing about this is it gives these younger people, an opportunity to say it's not just a bunch of gray-haired or bald guys there at the event. There's a bunch of younger guys there too. But Mike, you've been to these events, and most of your viewers have been to events. You tend to get spread out, and by having this 29 Below program, it gives a parking area. So, these younger people can get together, meet each other. And what's cool for me is a lot of them have developed friendships that,
perfect.
Every year they look forward to seeing each other at one of these events or the other event, catch up what's going on through the year, what they've been doing, show us what they've changed on their cars, what they've improved on their cars. And
love it.
This looks several years old, this picture. And looking at some of these guys in the picture, they've since opened hot rod shops.
Nice.
And they're making a living in the hot rod industry now. And one of the guys in the front there, the guy with the sleeveless shirt, his name is Ben Smithson, and he's out of the Tennessee area, and he's got a hot rod shop and doing really well, and got work. And so some of these guys have actually gone into the industry as well as being hobbyists, and that's really gratifying for us.
That's excellent. We got a couple more picks coming up. So I think this is kind of at your place.
It is. We do an annual open house every year. Beautiful. And we invite local hot rodders. And the other thing that's really important about our open house is what excites me about it the most is that it gives our employees a chance to bring their families out.
Oh, cool.
And number one, show their families where they work. This is what we do. We have the back of the shop open that's normally not. So it gives them an opportunity to take their kids or their wife back or husband back and show them the area they work, what they do, what they produce. And the other thing that's really exciting about it for our employees is, they work all week long making parts, making AC systems and making parts, but now they get to see where some of these parts end up. They see the care that these people and that put in their pride and joy vehicles, and how these systems that our people build find their way into people's aftermarket cars, their hot rods and their classic cars and everything. So it's a great day. It's one of my favorite days of the year. We really look forward to our open house every year.
And that's so cool you guys do it. Now, for the viewers as well, now, naturally, don't get me wrong, the people that work there really like it. Well, Rick likes it because, he's the president, so hopefully he likes what's going on. But a really good example is when builders start using your stuff, and that gives you even additional bragging rights, what I call street cred. So we got a few pics here of some of the builds where the different professionals. Is that Ring Brothers work?
That's not a Ring Brothers truck. I'm not. I at a loss for remembering that one, who the builder is on that. But man, it's a cool truck. And, we, as Mike, again, we benefit so much from the input we get from builders, and that's a big part of our development programs is the feedback we get from both builders and, our customers as well. And again, as being hot rodders ourselves, you're always looking for ways to improve what you're manufacturing and what you're selling. So not only are we proud to see our systems end up in a lot of these vehicles, it's the feedback we get that's really important to us.
So we got a few more shots. I just like some of these shots too. They're just cool.
Now that is the Ring Brothers car there, and
Yeah.
that's one that's one of their Mustangs they put together, and man, that's another one, and another one of the Ring Brothers cars. When you look at everywhere you look, there's a new little detail you may have missed
Yes.
the first time around. Those guys are pretty wild.
Yeah.
That's old Gary Metters. 32
yeah.
that Gary had many miles on through the years. He actually went through, I think, 3 different vintage air systems just because of when they rebuilt the car. They always put the latest and greatest in it.
I love it. And we got
That
a Mopar
right
now.
there is a Charger that was built by a local shop here in San Antonio. It has a Elephant motor in it,
Really?
and vintage air system and everything. 68 Charger, and man, when it showed up at our open house the first time, it was one of the big draws. I mean, the car got it. As you can see, they kind of did their own ground effects on it, and man,
Yep.
the stance on it is great, and kind of stuck with a Chrysler style color and everything.
Perfect.
And local car, really cool car.
But and you know me, I got to throw a Mopar picture in there somewhere, man.
Exactly.
Now we're going to shift gears, pardon the pun, a little bit. We've obviously know kind of what some of your favorite automobiles are, so I'll shift it up a little bit. Here we go again. Is that to date, what is your favorite automotive memory?
Man, I'll tell you, it'd be hard to really name one, but
Sure.
to me, some of the biggest things is, like that 39 that I've had so many years, and from the first build and then the second rebuild and the improvements we've made along the way on the car, all of it was done with friends. And,
Cool.
one of us, a friend of mine did the paint on it. One friend did the paint, and another guy helped us with certain bodywork aspects and all of that. And I think those times spent out in the shop working on a car, some of those memories. Every time I drive that 39, I'll look at a certain place of the dash, or I'll think about this or think about that, and think about the laughs we had or the good times we had putting that car together. And then the other times are the times we get out on the road with both our road tour that we do, or just some of the events that we go to. That's the best memories I have, is the time with hot rod friends out on the road. Because it's funny, when you get to an event or you get somewhere, once you're there, the car almost becomes secondary, because then it's the people that you're concerned with, that you're enjoying the time with. And I think those are the best memories I have, is the friends that this whole hobby and industry has allowed me the opportunity to make.
And that's a great story, kind of looking at, because I remember we were getting ready to do a car show with the Bird a couple years ago, and we got one of the mini starters in, and it dies. And it's 9 o'clock that night, and I talked to one buddy. He goes, I know the guy that's got a warehouse in Henderson. They went over and opened it up, and about 11 o'clock that night, we got the starter in. He goes, we have to go to the show tomorrow. And so it's just those one you kind of reflect on. Once again, a little bit of a pun.
And it's funny how you say that. We'll think back to some of the events we've gone to through the years, or our road tours, and the ones that go really smooth tend to fade into your memory a little bit. The ones where you had a little bit of problem, like you said, 11 o'clock at night, you got a guy you track down or strange down or something, opening up an auto parts store to get to the parts you need to get back on the road.
Yeah.
Those are the times you remember, you think back on and remember, not the really smooth ones. Those kind of fade into the memory, but it's the ones that you had to overcome a little bit of adversity that really, and there's always friends involved, right?
Always. We had good friends getting us when we took the 47 Custom to the SEMA show, and we were in the middle of Hot Rod Alley. Saturday night, we're in Corona getting the car done. So everybody's got the SEMA stories. Now, obviously as well, so now we talked about what they like about themselves. Obviously, some pro builders, because anytime you get the Ring Brothers, some of these other guys, local talent, using their product, it's really great. Well, when you get recognition, now you kind of even go a little higher up on the cool scale, if you will. So we got some shots and a little bit of histogram here. So you've had a lot of noteworthy awards over the year. Rick, let's walk through those fairly quickly. Hey, I think that might be Mr. McGuire on our right, looking at the picture.
Yeah, that's Jack, second from the left there, and his wife Tammy, the founders of Vintage Air, and Barry McGuire, and Buddy Pep, who at the time was curator at the Peterson Automotive Museum, and Travis, who was with Hot Rod Restoration, and that was at the Hot Rod Restoration show when Jack was presented with the Robert E. Peterson Award. For achievements in the hot rod industry and everything. Pretty cool deal for Jack and for all of us at Vintage Air.
Absolutely. We got a couple more we'll step through. There's our friends at
Yeah,
Armo.
we've been really fortunate through the years that a lot of our new products have been had new product awards. And man, there's nothing that makes you more proud than having your new products recognized by peers in the industry for, innovation and use in the automotive market. So yeah, that was ARMO. That was when we first debuted our Front Runner drive system.
Yep.
And it was pretty cool. That 2003, that was 20 plus years ago, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah, I still remember when you debuted. That was a big splash. I think we got a couple more where I'm not sure what that one's for. I just think it's a cool looking award. Man.
Yeah, that was the outstanding display, and that was at the SEMA show.
Perfect.
SEMA show, and it was outstanding display, I believe. And that was pretty cool for having, for recognizing the display that we had.
Oh yeah, you guys go out of your way, and then our friend of Good Guys, they're kind of instrumental. Thing goes on anything to do with cars.
Yep. That was again for our small block Ford Front Runner when it came out in 2005, the People's Choice Award, and all these systems we're still producing after all these years. Made a few improvements along the way with a higher output alternator and some things like that. But yeah, we're still pretty proud of the fact that we pioneered the front drive systems for the aftermarket engines or for engines.
Okay, to demonstrate, Rick is the king of Segway, because they say, well, Mike, we're hearing about what they do when we see the outside of the building. What's some of the products we have? Thank you for asking there. It's still early for me this morning, brother. So we got some cool pics. Let's step through a few of those, because this stuff just looks good hanging on the dash. Or in the engine bay. That's right.
Yeah, in the engine bay. That's got some of our accessory drive stuff on it and everything. An LT4 engine, supercharged LT4 engine. And so that's some parts. One of our front runners, that's a
perfect
LS front runner. Yeah, one of our black LS front runners. And
looks nice.
looks like it came from the factory on there, but with, billet aluminum pulleys and a high output alternator, 170 amp alternator. So that's one of our LS front runner drive systems.
I love it. And when you put it on the dash, this just comes out. It looks sweet, man.
Yeah, that's a 64 to 66 Chevy pickup, and we've got a replacement panel. As you can see, they're just inside the right rim of the steering column. Mm-hmm. We've got a bolt-in replacement panel that gives you a variable speed blower and air blend and mode deal, between defrost and floor. And so, yeah, that's a good old pickup. And boy, isn't it interesting how pickups in the last 10 years or so have become such an integral part of the hot rodding community.
Absolutely.
And that another cool dash shot there with some of our parts in there. And you can see our panel in the middle and everything and the louvers that we've got and some neat dash shots there. It's like some classic instruments gauges along there, another high quality product in there.
You betcha. Because you guys do great work. And I really like that shot's just nice and tight.
Yep, that's a 55 to 59 Chevy pickup replacement panel that we have for that truck, a bolt-in panel for the 55 to 59 pickup. And interestingly, we are just fixing to debut. We debuted at SEMA a similar replacement panel like that for the 55 and 56 Chevy passenger cars. So that's one of our newest products as well this year that's kind of similar to that allows you to replace the factory panel with an electronic PC board panel that's backlit, LED lit, and everything. So yeah, that's another thing we take a lot of pride in is replacement panels that we can produce that look right in the car.
Perfect. And when I think of vintage era, I always kind of go back because this look always resonates with me.
Yeah, the old classic look and everything. Yeah, that's going back a few years. That would be back in the 80s, and that's an early Gen 2 control. So that's probably late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, I can hear you chuckling in the background when I'm saying that. I still remember this one.
Yes.
Okay, now you're getting appreciated. They got a lot of product. Obviously, they're a great company. Now, some companies you can buy your stuff and you wait for the UPS or Amazon Prime now, right? And you get the instructions, you go, ooh, and it's not real clear, not sure what to do. You call tech support and you're on hold where it seems like a year and a half. Well, once again, Vintage Hair has a little different approach. Early in the show, I gave you that teaser that they have their own show, their own TV process now. So here's a little shortened clip of how to install a system. Check this out.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the R&D Garage here at Vintage Air. I'm Billy. Today I'm going to be showing you how to install our brand new Gen 5 Super Magnum with this big blower to keep your 3rd Gen Camaro real cool. So let's get some tools and get after it.
Now, for the viewers, that runs a little over an hour. And Rick, my compliment to you and your team, because that is not a cheap date by any concept to be able to put that all together and produce it. But yeah, if I got that kit sitting in my garage and I watched that video a couple times, I'm going to be really comfortable installing your product.
Yeah, I think that's a huge key these days. Something really cool, Billy, that's in those videos. Billy was a pretty shy guy when he came to work for us first, and now we've got him doing the videos. And he went to SEMA this year and had several people recognize him from the videos at SEMA, so that was pretty cool. And he's a really good mechanic and really sharp guy. And, you know, I got a picture from one of our customers a while back that really made me feel good. He and his son were working on doing an installation in an early model Camaro, and he took a picture of his son at the toolbox. They had a TV screen over the toolbox, and his son had the instructions in front of him and had Billy up there doing the video, the installation video on the TV screen. And he said, "This is me and my son out in our garage doing the installation and everything." And he said, Billy's walking him through the installation. And what a cool deal that was for us to receive. And yeah, we've all become so visual people anymore. You know, you can read instructions, and we try to make our instructions really detailed and really clear, and we have them available on the website. So before you purchase the system, if you're thinking about it, you've got an opportunity to download the instructions, take a look at what's involved in the actual installation, and then you got a good idea of what you're looking at as far as the job in front of you. And, you know, it's something you can say, well, you know, I can knock that out.
I can
that's
knock
something
that
I
out.
need a little help with, you know. So that's the whole purpose of the videos and the instructions, is trying to give you a pretty good idea.
Perfect.
We're doing more late model cars these days, as you saw, like that 3rd Gen Camaro, and we've got the G-Body GM kits and even the OBS Chevy trucks now. And the complexity of the installations is increasing all the time because of the way those vehicles were built at the factory as they got newer. You know, used to be you had a dashboard and you mounted all the components under it.
You bolted
And
there,
now,
you're good
you
to
know,
go.
like when they built those cars at the factory, they built a complete, what they call an instrument panel. It's the dashboard and all the components, the gauges, the AC, and all of that is actually bolted to that instrument panel, and it's loaded as a single component. That IP is loaded as a single component. So when it comes time to replace that OEM AC system, it's a fairly complex installation, because you got to pull the dash out of it and to be able to get the original stuff out. So I think the video is really helpful when you get to things like that.
So we've been talking, we walked through now, we got videos how to do it, got examples of it. How about for the viewers, let's step through a couple pictures here, Rick. We got some shots we call the plant. I like this picture to begin, before we even go inside. This is cool.
That's our facility. We've been here since 2002. We moved into our new facility and added on to it a little bit. But yeah, that's home.
I love it.
That's our in-house machine shop. You can see over in the lower corner there, you can see our Ford Front Runner from the original forging that we get it into the machined processes. So all that's done in-house.
Love it.
And there's some of our plastic thermoforming and that we do in-house. We make the molds ourselves, and all of that stuff's made in-house.
That that helps you with the commitment to quality.
It does. It does. It allows us to control. That's just since that picture's taken, that's one of our older assembly line pictures that we had. We've actually upgraded from then. Now we've got some new assembly lines in place where we're doing more single piece flow and a little more modern technology. But yeah, we try to be improving all the time.
And it shows. Now I think this is like your R&D area, right? So is it what we call it?
It is, and that's you can see Jack's 36 Ford there that we had doing some demonstrations, and that's actually my son's 56 Ford Fairlane in the background, Victoria.
Yep.
That the people sitting there. That's when we do some in-house seminars for our distributors. So when we've got that going there, we bring some of our distributors in and talk them through new products and the basics of AC and some tech training and troubleshooting training. So we've actually got another one of those distributor conferences coming up at the end of February. So
Beautiful.
we're real proud about giving our distributors an opportunity to continue to learn about our products and learn all the new parts as well.
Absolutely. And that makes us so much comfortable for them. Now, before we say goodbye, we got a couple of shots of not everybody in your company, I'm sure, but a whole pile of them, because obviously you want to thank your team as well.
We do. That's some of our manufacturing guys there, and we're so fortunate, Mike. We just did our at Christmas time. We had our annual Christmas luncheon, and we've got over 160 full-time employees now.
Beautiful.
And at that luncheon, we hand out our anniversary, either some plaques and some things like that. And we've got a bunch of people that have been with us 20 plus years and
Wow.
even more, 10. So we've got a lot of our employees that have been with us for a long time and part of our family.
And that's such a great testimony, I think, not only to the company, but your leadership style as well, that you've kind of went out of your way to make sure everybody feels part of the family.
Yeah, we try to maintain, a family atmosphere. I mean, we care a lot about our employees because, it doesn't matter what business you're in, whether it's air conditioning, whether it's anything else, you're only as good as your people. Yep. And having people that care about what they do and are involved in the decision on how we can improve production and all of that, we do that a lot. We have a meeting every Tuesday morning with our employees and tell them what's going on and get feedback from them. And there's nothing more important to us than our employees because that's what our whole business is built on.
Absolutely correct. I think we got some contact information. So, obviously VintageAir.com, and there's all your social. And imagine if you call that 800 number, somebody will probably answer the phone, right, buddy?
They will. Yeah. All you got to do is press O to talk to a human, or we've got sales guys on the line all day long that are ready to answer your questions. We've got live tech guys that are ready to answer all your questions. So
Perfect.
Again, it's a personal business is what we've tried to maintain through all the years because it is
Yes,
what we
sir.
do. None of us in this industry sell I need products. Everything we sell is I want, and they're for your passion, they're for your hobby. And,
Good point.
we're all one big community, and that's important to us.
Well, Rick, I tell you, it's been great to have you on the show. For viewers, I think Rick's known me long enough. I think we started when I had black hair. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you did. You had long black hair, and I didn't have any gray hair. Yeah, it's amazing how the years have passed. It's been a great ride, hasn't it, Mike, through all this time?
All this time, and whether we're at Grand National or at the Nats or at SEMA, it's always good to see you and the team. You're high on my list of very cool products, and I always look forward to spending time with you. And until we get a chance to hook up with each other again down the road, thanks for getting me on the show. Have a great weekend, and God bless, brother.
You too. Thanks, you, and I hope everybody has a great weekend in Las Vegas as well.
Thank you. And hey, you got to check out what's going on with Vintage Air. They're the real deal. Do me a personal favor, like, subscribe, and share, and hit us up on social media. And until next time, enjoy the ride.